Hi, my name is Alexis Dellamonica. I go to the University of Michigan. I play for the Michigan Softball Team. So some of the earliest advice I've gotten really early on from my coaches, my mentors, my coaches being Kara Braun, who's an alumni from ASU, my other coach who was Steve Apple and Corey Mathis. Growing up underneath them, I grew up with the same club ball team all the way through, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved playing with them, and some of the advice that they told me growing up was to stay within, meaning to stay within yourself. Don't let anyone else get in between what your process is and who you're going to and what you want to be. It's all about you and how you want to grow in the sport. During training, I think some of the most important things that I focus on are my mental health. This being my sophomore year at the University of Michigan, my freshman year was really tough, especially coming from a long way from home. I'm from Arizona, so coming to Michigan was kind of a long way from home. So definitely getting used to not having really family around, but also getting used to being an adult and living on my own and living with a roommate and just doing all the normal adult things on top of being a student athlete. And yeah, the main challenges that I faced growing up in my sport was definitely just finding a groove with myself, finding confidence. It's so difficult as an athlete to find confidence internally and not to find it externally from other people, from coaches, your parents, from friends, from your teammates. You really got to find it within. And like I said before, the advice with work with yourself, like stay within. You got to really work on your internal confidence. And I feel like that was a big challenge. I think overcoming it is definitely just becoming more attuned with yourself, with your body, and with your mental game and your mental approach. My recruitment process was very fun. I loved my recruitment process. I came to Michigan this is my first official visit, was here, and I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with the football games. I think everyone can vouch for that one. They're so much fun. They are so enticing. The community here is amazing. And then my second one was at Northwestern, and I love Northwestern. I love the campus. It is beautiful. But there was something that was really just pulling me back to Michigan. And then my third and final visit was at the United States Military Academy, West Point. And I loved this experience. It was definitely a once in a lifetime. Not a lot of people get to do it. And I feel like that's a big thing when it comes to recruiting is you can't take it for granted. Enjoy it while you're in that process and do it for yourself. No one around you should be telling you, oh, you should be going here. Where are you leaning towards? This is your process. This is your recruitment. And figuring out what you want, where you feel at home, is the most important thing when it comes to your recruitment process. College coaches really keep an eye out for players who have a great attitude, whether you struck out, whether you made a bad play. As long as you're there for your team and you keep an upbeat energy, that is what's going to push you all the way. It is something coaches really admire. They love to see that in athletes, and they love to see it in future players. And they just love it. And I can definitely tell you from my own experience that during club ball, when I got those down moments where I did have a strikeout, where I did make an error on the field, because no one's perfect, it really does shine when you keep your head up and you play through and you are there for your team. Why Michigan? This is such a broad question, but there's so many things that can go into it. Michigan is a different kind of atmosphere. It's wonderful here. I mean, you go outside during the fall time and the trees are changing colors. Coming from Arizona, being able to see all four seasons coming to Michigan, it's incredible. It's absolutely amazing. It's surreal. And I think there's no other place like it. On top of that, the academics is outstanding. It's very intense. It can be hard, but if you put in the mental work and you put in that grind, you're going to excel. It's a lot of fun here. Just keep putting in the work, and there's nothing like the Michigan difference. Everyone pushes that idea. And yeah, I mean, that and the culture. Oh, the culture here is a lot of fun. Everyone is super nice. Go to football games. Again, I used that before when I talked about the recruitment process. It's a different kind of atmosphere. You come here and everyone feels like family. And that's really an idea that Michigan pushes. When you're able to find the time within 8 hours to, put in the extra work when you do have that time, go do it. It's going to make a difference in your game. It's going to make a difference in the team's game. It's going to make a difference in the coach's eyes. And especially if you're looking for that playing time and you're not getting it, put your head down, get to work. And that's really all I can say when it comes to being a college athlete is you got to put your head down. You got to put your ego aside, stay within yourself, keep the confidence, and play the game that you already know how to do. It's the same game you've been playing for years. When it comes to balancing my academics and my athletics, my demanding schedule, it's very difficult. You got to find time to go to tutoring when you need it. Find the time to sit at home and do your homework like you know you're supposed to do. Don't be encouraged to go out when there's no need to be going out. You got to stay within yourself again, find your path, find your routine, and sticking with that. Have days dedicated to academics, have days dedicated to your athletics, and your class is more important. You're going to college to get an education. If you want to pursue sports after that, that's all right. Just focus on where you are in the moment. You're at school, you're for an education, you're for a degree, and you got to get through it. I think some advice I would give to my younger self would be, this is a sport, it's a game, you play it to have fun. Don't let all the other outside noise get to you, and play the game like you know you're supposed to play. Play it with grit, play it having fun, and just be yourself. There's no reason to be anyone else. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. You are who you are, you're unique to your own self, and there's no need to try and fit in. It's a game. You're always going to be playing it. At some point it'll end, and you got to move on. There's other adventures out there,